Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, the team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And hello everybody and welcome into a Wednesday episode of YSN Live. It is October 22nd, 2025, the only one you're going to get, and we are so happy that you decided to spend a little bit of that day, that only day you're going to get in your life on this day with us and with YSN Live, brought to you by our good friends at Toyota of Warren and Greenwood Chevrolet. Toyota of Warren wants to take you places. Greenwood Chevrolet going the extra mile for you. We thank them for their sponsorship of this show and, of course, of everything that we do at YSN. We got a great show for you today. It's just me, DJ, getting some procedures done, but he'll be back tomorrow. No worries. But we still got a really good show for you today regardless. We have Emma Johns who will be playing her interview that she already recorded earlier in the week. Jackson Milton is on to the district championship game. After taking down Maplewood, we were guaranteed a YSN team in the district final. They will take on Ashley Wheeler St. John's. We're now guaranteed a team in the regional semifinals in that district. Emma Johns, the junior captain, will be interviewed and joining us. Well, I shouldn't say joining us because she's not live. But she will be on the show today as I had a chance to talk with her earlier in the week, and perfect timing with them playing tomorrow in the district championship. Then at 12:30, very exciting. It is decision day for Kylie Folkwine. The Fitch senior has gone through a very long and strenuous recruiting process. She has had a lot of choices, and I think there is a lot of options that she had, but she has made her decision, and she is announcing exclusively at 12:30 on YSN where she will be going and continuing her softball career. So stay tuned for that at 12:30. We'll talk to Kylie about the recruitment process, where she's going, why she made that decision, and all that fun stuff as well. But first, before we get to either of those, we want to recap a little bit of last night's action because we had district semifinals and trips to championships on the line in divisions 3, 4, 5, and 7 in volleyball. And we had plenty of games go down. We'll start with Division 3, Boardman versus Louisville, an all YSN matchup. It went 5 sets. All of the 25 to all of the sets 25 went at least in the 20s, and a couple of them went 26-24. So a very competitive 5-set semifinal between Boardman and Louisville. But eventually, Boardman gets the win, and they advance to the district championship. They win in 5 over Louisville. Canfield welcome in St. Vincent St. Mary. This Irish team that was ranked 25th in seeding has been very competitive all season, only swept twice on the year, all year. And that was by Hoover and CVCA. But Canfield became the third team last night to sweep them as they beat the Irish in 3 pretty handily. They set the tone in the first set. They won 25-11. It was not even close. St. Vincent St. Mary only had 2 kills the entire set compared to Canfield's 11. The second set, I think we saw the competitive Irish a little bit more, but Canfield was able to pull it out. And then the third set was a little bit of pushing, but then Canfield pulled away late and kind of took care of business. They looked really good in their last home game of the season. talked to a couple of their players after. They knew that their seniors were in the last home game. They wanted to send them out with a win, and they sure did. Canfield moving on to the district championship. We will set all these championships after we get the recaps. Hoban had no problems with Lakeside. That was a 1 seed versus a 31 seed in the district semifinals. One of the byproducts of these super districts, usually the 1 seed gets a lot of teams kind of escaping their bracket, and you get a lot of matchups that you probably shouldn't in late rounds in the district. But Hoban wins that game in 3. They're moving on to the district championship. And then last but not least, Howland taking on Geneva. Howland moving on to the district championship as they win in 4 sets over Geneva. We go to Division 4. We had 2 Division 4 semifinals last night. They were in the East bracket. The Northeast District Division 4 plays on Monday and Wednesday, of course. They'll play tonight and Monday. But the East bracket in Division 4 played last night. Both East Liverpool and Beaver Local both coming out with wins. Beaver Local sweeps Minerva. East Liverpool plays a very competitive match with the 4 seed St. Clairsville, and they get the technical upset as East Liverpool was the 5 seed as they win in 5. So East Liverpool and Beaver Local both moving on to the district championships games in East 1 and East 2 districts respectively. We move on to Division 5. Crestview in a championship where they belong. They beat Doylestown Chippewa in 4 sets. The Chips came with a little bit of fight and pushed Crestview after losing the first 2 sets, won the third. Crestview came back and won the 4th. Laney Hour, typical Laney Hour, 33 kills, no big deal there. Crestview will move on to the district championship as they get the win in 4. We have Triway. They were able to knock down Garrettsville. That is the first game where we see a YSN team defeated in all these matchups that we're talking about. But Triway does get the 5-set victory over Garfield, and they move on to the district championship game. Berkshire, this is one I'm going to talk about this for a little bit while we're on this game. One, this is no shade at Berkshire. This is more of a shade on the people that vote for these teams. When I saw the bracket come out and I saw Berkshire as a 6 seed, that just didn't feel right. I know there's a lot of good teams in Division 5, obviously, Crestview, Elyria Catholic, Lake Center Christian, all that fun stuff. But Berkshire's 22-2. Right down at the end of the season, they beat Canfield in 4 sets. They're very, very, very good. And to see them as a 6 seed, I was like, I thought they should have been like at least top 4. But regardless, they were the 6 seed, and South Range had the big task of trying to beat them. It didn't go well for South Range. Berkshire gets to win in straight sets, and they are moving on. An all YSN matchup in the final Division 5 district semifinal that we had, Columbiana and Girard, they played in the district final last year, I believe. Girard won that. Girard wins this one. The 19 seed beating the 4 seed. Girard gets the big upset in 4 sets over Columbiana. They're going to the district championship in Division 5. Congratulations to Girard on having a good run in the tournament to this point. We hope that you can get another big upset in the next round. We move on to Division 7. St. John, as we said before, got the win over Cuyahoga Heights in straight sets, so they are moving on to the district championship, the 1 seed, proving why they're the 1 seed. Jackson Milton got the upset. They are the 10 seed, and they beat the 4 seed Maplewood in 3 sets. There were 3 competitive sets, but 3 sets regardless. So they're moving on to play St. John. We are guaranteed a team in the regionals with that matchup. We go to Western Reserve. They got the win over Heartland Christian. This was also technically an upset. Western Reserve, an 8 seed versus Heartland Christian, the 5. Although when it's that close, upset is a loose term. But Western Reserve gets to win in straight sets. And then last but not least, we had 2 YSN teams trying to play up and trying to get upsets, but they couldn't. Cornerstone Christian gets to win over Lisbon in straight sets. That was Lisbon the 11 versus Cornerstone the 6. And then Kidron Central Catholic, they were able to beat Wellsville. That was Wellsville the 18 versus Kidron Central Christian, the 2 seed. Both of those games were 3-set matches. So with all that being said, here are your district championships. They are all set. Tonight we have in Division 4 in Woodridge, Edgewood will play Holy Name, and then Hubbard will play Perry. So we have 3 YSN teams in Woodridge tonight, all fighting for a district championship. We're guaranteed 1 YSN team in the regionals because Perry and Hubbard are playing each other. That is our Perry, not Massillon Perry. The Perry Pirates, Hubbard playing at Woodridge. Also in Division 4, Lakeview will be playing Northwest. That will be in Medina Highland, and that'll be at 7 o'clock. McDonald and Lake Center Christian getting together in Division 6. That'll be at Berkshire High School. And then also in Division 6, Newton Falls in the district championship. They have the 1 seed Dalton tonight at 7. I want to say 7 o'clock in Midview. So those are the games happening tonight in the district championships. Tomorrow, district championships look like this. Boardman will take on Gilmore Academy in Girard, and also in Girard, Canfield will take on NDCL. Canfield plays at 7, Boardman plays at 5. Archbishop Hoban will take on Howland. That's an all YSN district championship in Medina. So once again, we're guaranteed a YSN team in the finals there. In the regionals, I should say there. East Liverpool will take on Meadowbrook. That is going to be at 6 o'clock at Tusky Valley. East Liverpool, the 5 seed, Meadowbrook, the 1. Beaver Local will take on Riverview, and that'll be at 6 o'clock. That is going to be at Carrollton High School on Thursday. In Division 5, Crestview taking on Chagrin Falls. That is 1 seeded Crestview, 5 seed Chagrin Falls. And then also in Magnificat, Crestview plays at 5. Girard plays at 7. And Magnificat, Girard will play Elyria Catholic. That is the 2 seed Elyria Catholic versus the 19 seed Girard. Then we go into Division 7 at Grand Valley High School. St. John is in the district championship against Jackson Milton. That'll be at 7 o'clock. And then in Division 7 at Smithville, Western Reserve will take on Open Door Christian. By the way, that's 1 seed St. John versus 10 seed Jackson Milton. Guaranteed a YSN team there in regionals. And then we will have the 8 seed Western Reserve versus the 3 seed Open Door Christian at Smithville at 5 o'clock to round out the district championship. So congratulations to all the teams that are still fighting. We are guaranteed a couple of spots in regionals with all YSN district championships. So we're happy about that. Hopefully we get a few more in those matchups that are involving one YSN team. And we can't wait to see what regionals holds as we get to crown district champions tonight and tomorrow. Tonight I will be in Woodridge taking pictures and doing all the post-game stuff for Edgewood and Hubbard and Perry. So we're going to have live from Woodridge after the second game for sure, because one team's going to be crowned a district champion. And then if Edgewood wins that game against Holy Name, we will have, we'll go live there as well for the trophy ceremony for Edgewood. So we're going to have some fun. And then obviously tomorrow we have some more. Let's get into someone that's going to be playing tomorrow. Emma Johns from Jackson Milton, the junior captain, going to be playing the district championship for Jackson Milton tomorrow against St. John. So here's her interview that I recorded a little bit earlier on this week. Anthony Hartwig here with a Jackson Milton volleyball player profile. We're joined by junior Emma Johns. Emma, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
So watching you play, you're kind of a versatile player. You do a little bit of everything for this Jackson Milton team. We've seen you hit, obviously you're a great defensive player in the back row. You set, when the time comes. What's it like to kind of be a little bit of everything for this program right now?
I think it's honestly really fun. Like growing up, I started off as a setter, and I've been a setter so far my whole life. But starting last year in high school, I started hitting a little bit, and I really like hitting too. People thrive when they have kind of cemented roles, and they know this is my role, and I can roll with it. Your role has to change in the flows of a match. What's it like to turn off the setter, mindset and turn on the hitter mindset, and then go back and forth between those two? Sometimes it can be confusing. Like there's a few times I'm in front row hitting, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm not setting anymore. But it's really good and fun. And we switched to a 5-1 halfway through the season, so now I'm just setting really. So it's a little less confusing. But I do every now and then get a hit, and it's good.
But we still see you get to swing every now and then when the time comes, when you're out of system a little bit. When you think about being a junior and kind of having the leadership responsibilities amped up a little bit this year, What has it been like going from, one of the younger kids on the team, you're an underclassman, not expected of a lot as far as responsibilities and leadership, and now all of a sudden you're a junior and you're one of the role models, you're one of the older players, there's people that people come to for advice. What's that been like for you?
It's honestly been a great experience. I mean, our underclassmen now, I'm close with all of them. I've grown up playing sports with almost all of them. So that's really good. And I actually got captain this year. So it's really just been a fun experience. And I think I do a decent job picking up the girls. I never want them to get down on themselves. So I'm always focusing, making sure that they're in the right mindset.
First year without older sister Grace, it's kind of you're the only Johns in town now. What's that been like to kind of take that mantle and to have to live life without your sister on the team anymore?
Yeah, it's been a little sad. I do miss playing with her, but we still she plays intramural volleyball for college, and sometimes she asks me to come and pepper with her before to warm her up, and after games sometimes we pepper still. So we still play volleyball together a little bit, but it's definitely a little sad.
All right, so you said you were a captain as a junior. That's not something that everyone kind of gets the opportunity to be. What's it like to know that even though you're not the oldest player, you're not a senior, that there are people that believe in you enough to kind of put you in that role and make you a captain?
It's really good to know that the younger underclassmen look up to me and believe in me as a captain, and it also gives me more confidence, which helps me lead them better.
You're still playing. You're in a district semifinal tomorrow night. This team has a chance to go to a district championship, and they still have a chance to win a district championship. You've gone through some ebbs and flows this year as a volleyball team. You've had some adversity. You've had some times when you've had to bounce back from some losses. What's it been like to kind of, peak at the right time, and now you're playing in a district semifinal?
Yeah, so we had a rough patch in our season, but I think we're really pushing through and getting better and better and better, and I think we can do really good and go really far in the tournament.
When you think about kind of the key factors of bouncing back from that rough patch, and now here you are, like I said, peaking at the right time, what were some of the conversations had, some of the things that you think were really hallmark in making that turnaround possible?
Like I said earlier, we started out with the 6-2, and that started out really good, but overall, I don't know if it was the best fit for our team. So then we switched over to the 5-1, and I honestly think that that's working more efficiently for our team. And I just think that we're all working together better now and kind of putting it all together to do best.
All right, let's talk about you off the court in the classroom. A 4.0 GPA right now as a junior. What's it been like balancing schoolwork and getting amazing grades?
It's definitely tough at sometimes, but I have to always remember that my academics come first, so I always make sure all my assignments are completed on time. I study for tests and everything. And honestly, volleyball kind of it's funny because in the locker room we'll all work together and do our homework and stuff before games and stuff, so that also helps.
Since you're all doing your homework together, who's the one teammate that I'm sure it might be you because you have a 4.0. Who's the one that everyone kind of goes to for a little bit of tutoring, a little bit of help? Hey, I need a little bit of help in this subject. I might need this person to help me.
So right now, I actually am working on homework right now for chemistry, and me and Newhart are both in the same, Olivia Newhart, we're both in the same chemistry class, and sometimes it can get a little confusing, but all the seniors have taken chemistry last year, so they're always our little tutors and helping us with our homework.
So we got, this is a break from homework right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome for the break.
Thank you.
Is chemistry the hardest class that you've had so far in your high school career?
Yeah, I definitely say it was the hardest. I'm more of a math person. I do best in math. And there is a lot of math in chemistry, yes, but it's still a little confusing.
I've always said chemistry is science trying to pretend to be math a little
bit.
When you think about all the things that you've done so far in your high school career, you have probably still goals left on the table. What are some things that you still want to accomplish and you still want to be able to say that you'd be able to do before you graduate in a couple of years?
So I definitely want to keep on working to keep my 4.0 GPA for when I graduate. And I want to work on just being more included with all the after-school activities and clubs and things that go on at the school.
Speaking of those clubs and the after-school activities and the things that you do outside of sports at Jackson Milton, what are some of those things that keep you involved in the community that aren't athletics?
So I'm a part of Key Club, which we help do kind of like volunteer things. We do like concessions for other school activities, and we put on, like for middle school, they have like dances and stuff, and we help put those on. And we also do stuff for the elementary school, like trick or treat and Easter hunts. And I'm also in SAD and art club.
And all that, by the way, she's still a three-sport athlete, right? You're still basketball?
Yeah.
You didn't quit basketball yet? Okay,
No.
good. Not that you would. I was just and then softball, of course, in the spring. What's it like switching from sport to sport, going from volleyball to basketball to softball? And do you have a favorite? Do you have one season that you get a little bit more up for?
I would say my favorite is definitely volleyball, and softball is a close second though. And switching from sport to sport, it's not as difficult as you would think, but I think that's because since Jacksonville is such a small school, a lot of the girls have to play more than one sport.
Mm-hmm.
And also the coaches are very well and do good at like helping accommodate to different sports.
With the seasons where they are now, you might get like a couple of days off before you go to basketball after volleyball's over, depending on how long this run goes.
Mm-hmm.
When do you kind of get a chance to just take a little bit of a break and tell yourself, like, take a breath a little bit, because you're in all these clubs, you have a 4.0, you're a three-sport athlete. Do you ever get a chance to just, be a normal person and take a breath a little bit?
I always say that summer is my favorite season because I love the warm weather and everything, but I also do get a little, I would say like close to a month break in between softball and volleyball, and I really that's like what I look forward to in the year.
So you're not doing travel softball, right? You're taking the summer a little bit off.
Yeah.
And do you do travel in any sport? Do you do JO volleyball, or do you do AAU basketball or anything like that?
I've done JO volleyball for, I think, since 12U, but I'm taking the year off this year to focus on basketball and softball more because it does get a little crowded in the winter time.
It can be. I want to talk to you about role models, the people that kind of you have to look up to, you have to kind of go to for advice. Who are those people for you?
One of my role models has always been my sister, Grace Johns, because I get to play with her in softball and volleyball. And even though I don't play with her anymore, I still look up to her. She's going to college and doing great, so I still look up to her a lot.
And then since you're a role model now, and we said it before, you're kind of one of the players that a lot of people can turn to for advice, whether it be, the underclassmen or even younger into the Jackson Milton program. What's it like for you now that you have that reality? Like, you have people looking up to you, and you have, probably little girls that are maybe 5th, 6th grade that are playing volleyball that look to you and say, man, I want to be like Emma Johns when I grow up.
It's definitely so fun and special to have that. And I have a little cousin in middle school, so I like going to the middle school events and stuff for volleyball and watching them and stuff. And it's just, I always want to work on keeping myself calm and stuff so that they always know they can come to me for anything.
When they do come to you and they have advice, what kind of things do you tell them about getting ready for a high school season and what it's like to be a high school athlete?
I just tell them, the biggest thing I've noticed in high school is your attitude and mindset. And if you have a bad mindset or attitude, it's really tough in high school. So I always tell them to work on that.
All right. We have some time for some rapid fire random questions that we like to use to get to know you a little bit. What's your favorite color? What's the color palette for Emma Johns?
My favorite color is probably pink. It's been pink for a while. I just love it.
Now, is it like the dominant color in your closet too? Do you have a lot of pink that you wear?
I do, but any bright color. I just like wearing bright or pastel colors.
What is one thing that you probably spend more money on than you should?
Clothes. I buy a lot of clothes and Starbucks.
What's the most dangerous store you could be put into where you're, oh man, I'm going to spend a lot of money on the clothes here?
Probably Plato's Closet.
Okay. You said Starbucks. How often are we getting Starbucks?
I like to try to get it before every game, like a little pre-game snack.
Do you have a consistent order pre-game for Starbucks, or do you like to change it up a little bit?
I get the strawberry acai lemonade every time.
All these orders at Starbucks start to sound real fancy. You know,
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't even repeat what you said.
Yeah.
Do you have any other pregame routines or superstitions that you have as an athlete that kind of you have to do before a game?
I've never been super big on superstitions, but
Mhm.
one thing I noticed is I don't it's kind of probably bad, but I don't like to get ready super early.
Mm.
Like I kind of like to crunch time it a little more. So then I just like get ready real quick and
It's
jump
the
into it.
adrenaline, right? The
Yeah.
adrenaline carries over.
Yeah.
What is your favorite post-game meal? Like, I'm sure you don't eat a lot before a game because you want to keep yourself
Yeah.
in the peak athleticism. So, what's your favorite thing to eat after a game when I'm sure you're very hungry?
I love it anytime my mom makes spaghetti,
Mm.
like mac and cheese, anything with noodles I love.
So, Emma Johns is carb loading.
Yes.
Carb loading after games. That brings me into my next point. What's your favorite home cooked meal? What's your parents the best at cooking?
I love it when honestly, mac and cheese. My mom makes really good mac and cheese.
Noodles. We're keeping the
Yeah.
noodles right there. And then my last one for you is, if you could have any animal as a pet, didn't matter like wild or not, what kind of animal do you think you'd want?
Probably a monkey, like
A
those little
monkey.
tiny monkeys that can like sit on your shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might get a little messy up there on your shoulder a little
Yeah.
bit, but you'll deal with it for the
Yeah.
cuteness, right? All right, Emma, we end these player profiles the same way every time. We want to take the limelight off of you for a little bit and shine on the people in your life that mean the most to you, that have supported you throughout your whole career. So I want to give you the chance, as much time as you want, to give some thank yous and shout outs to the people that you think really deserve it.
I'd for sure like to thank my whole family, especially my mom and dad and sister. They always support me and push me to be the best athlete and student I can be. And my friends also, they're always so supportive. They come to the games and watch and everything. And my boyfriend is also super supportive. He almost never misses a game to support me.
All right, boyfriend's getting a round of applause, being a
Yeah.
good one. Good job. Emma, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it. We want to wish you the best of luck the rest of this season. And of course, we'll see you again in basketball. We'll see you again in softball as well. So you won't be far from the YSN's view for a long time. But thank you again for coming on. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you.
Rookie mistake. I had to unmute myself after that interview. That was Emma Johns from Jackson Milton, playing in the district championship tomorrow night against St. John. That's going to be a fun one. She has been a setter for them for a while, but also proving this year in that interview she can hit. They ran a 6.2 for about half the season, and she was a hitter when she wasn't in the back row, and she can swing it. So don't sleep on Emma Johns' offense, even though she's primarily a setter now in their transition to a 5-1 offense this year, going into, obviously, the district championship tomorrow. So now, everybody, the time has come. It is decision day. It is 0 hour in Fitch softball as we have another player making another commitment to another big college. And we welcome in someone that has been on YSN probably more than anybody, trying to break the record for most times on YSN. She's got a couple more player profiles left in her too. Kylie Folkwine from Fitch. Kylie, how are we doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Not as good as you because you're feeling on top of the world as you have kind of locked down where you want to go. We will get to that in a little bit. We want to build the anticipation. Build that anticipation. Make people wait for it a little bit because they're all tuning in to see where this decision is going to be. First and foremost, let's just talk about the recruitment process. We know it's been long. We've seen your social media posts. You've been to so many camps. You've worked so hard to kind of get to this point where you're making a decision. Recap your recruitment process, what it was like for you, and some of your big takeaways from it now that it's over.
Actually, me and my grandma, we can start like from the very beginning. This would have never happened if it wasn't for Chrissy Watson Sydney getting me on a travel team like the one I am now. Because they're the ones that encouraged me to play. It was Lady Dukes, and now we're in Unity. It would not have been possible without them. But the recruiting process, it was definitely realizing I have to go to a lot of camps to get my name out there, and then sending lots of emails, lots of like film, like all like my highlights from like my tournaments, just continuously like overly like be annoying. Like literally I had to be annoying to like the coaches just so I can like show them that I was interested. That's really like all that you could like really do. Like you can't really like obviously know until September 1st of your junior year if they're interested in you or not, but like getting mail, that's how you know coaches are interested in you, and just like putting yourself out there because anything's possible. So any school you want to go to, if you work hard enough, you can go to it.
Talk to you during this journey, and obviously your timing was so important. You wanted to make sure you took your time, and you definitely did. What was it like trying to not press this decision and trying to not look around, see other people commit, and not trying to, rush it, and obviously getting to the spot that you wanted to get to? What was that like for you?
At first I felt like I was like a little behind. I was like a little devastated because I saw everybody committing like September 1st hit, and like one of my teammates committed September 1st, and I was like, oh my God, like this is like really soon. And like I thought I was gonna commit after the fall, but then at first I was so destined on going like down south. I was like, I'm gonna play in the South, I'm gonna play in the South, I'm gonna play in the South. Like that's all I was set on. And I never like gave like the exposure to any other schools besides Southern schools. So I feel like after like all the time that I've like taken, I was like, it's really not about where I'm playing. It's about like how much it feels like home to me. And I feel like that's what I was like really searching for.
All right, Kylie, here's how we're going to do this. I have a bunch of hats here representing a bunch of colleges. We're going to show them. We're going to eventually get to your school. We'll reveal where you're playing, but I've always wanted to do the hat thing, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest. So, and the audience has no idea how many hats I have. So the last hat will reveal your school, but
Okay.
the audience doesn't know what the last hat is. So we're gonna build that anticipation. All right, first school, we're going to the MAC. It's Ball State. I think the winningest team in MAC softball. They've won more MAC championships than anybody. Are we going with Ball State? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Not Ball State. Sorry, not Ball State. We go to Houston out of the, I think, Big 12 now. All these conferences are realigning. The Cougars. We going with Houston?
Nope.
Sorry, Houston. We're out. SEC time. We got Texas A&M. Texas A&M Aggies. What are we feeling?
Nope.
Sorry, Texas. We're out. Let's see who we got. We got the SEC again. We got LSU. Beth Trina, great coach. We rocking with the Tigers. Nope, we spell G-O here. What about Tennessee? We got Karen Weekly. Great program. Catching Carolyn Pickens. We going with Tennessee?
Nope.
Nope, not Tennessee. Sorry, Rocky Top. What about the Hogs? Razorbacks, Arizona, Bree Ellis. We going with Arizona?
No.
I mean, Arkansas? What am I doing? I'm getting too fast. No, Arkansas. We're out. We're out on Arkansas. Let's see. Mizzou. Larissa Anderson and the Tigers in the SEC. Tigers?
Nope.
Nope, not a cat. Sorry. Let's see. I got one more. Actually, we got two more. One more actual school. How about Cal? We going West Coast?
No.
Nope, not going West Coast. It's too far away. All right, this last hat has about 13 teams on it, but it'll give away that you're going to the ACC. All right, we got a conference hat. We got programs here. Boston College, Clemson, Duke, Florida State. What are we thinking? Nope,
No.
nope, move on. We go to the back. Let's see. We know Miami doesn't have softball, so get with the program, Miami. But Georgia Tech, Louisville, North Carolina State, Notre Dame, Pitt. What are we thinking?
Nope.
Nope. We got three more. We're down to the wire, Kylie. Wake Forest does not have softball, so we know it's not them. Virginia Tech, Virginia, Syracuse. What are we thinking?
I think we're feeling Syracuse.
Syracuse, the orange. We found it in the ACC. I can't put this on with the headphones, but hallelujah, we found it. It took us a while. Syracuse orange. Kylie, talk about it. What kind of let you down the Syracuse path?
I feel like as soon as I stepped onto like the campus and like the softball field, I just felt like I was at home. Like Coach Shannon, I feel like our personalities just vibe so much together. And she was a catcher at Tennessee, so our head coach is a catcher. And I feel like that's why we have such a great connection. And it's a beautiful campus, obviously. It is a little cold. I wasn't expecting to go up in the snowy areas, but I don't even think that I care so much about that. Like the facilities are beautiful. They have brand new hitting cages and everything. I think it's a great program, and I could fit very well in there.
Kylie, you said south, and you went to maybe the most northern Power Fives school you could go to. When you talk about what felt like home, what was like the first thing that kind of set into you like, oh, Syracuse might have what it takes to call home? What was like the first impression?
I feel like the first impression was when I walked onto the field, and like Coach Shannon was just so like welcoming. Like she got to like she was like walking around like asking us questions. Like she wasn't even like acting like the head coach. Like she was just like trying to like be like our like chill friend. And I feel like that was just like a vibe that I picked up and I was like, okay. Like it wasn't such like a tension like camp like as I felt like before. Because the first time I went there was for a camp and like I was like super nervous, obviously. And then like just like going around like Coach O'Hara, like the pitching coach, like I was like catching in there and she was just like super like nice and I just feel like all like the coaching staff there, just like I felt like we all like clicked like very well.
I know that you've been thinking about this for a long time. Now that you have your home, what's it kind of feel like to know that all of it's over, the stress is gone, and you know where you're going to be?
Definitely a big weight off my shoulders, that's for sure. And I feel like I can play a lot like more like carefree now, not like thinking so much about like every single thing that I'm doing because I've worked my whole life for this moment. I've proved to myself that I can go power four. And I feel like it's just like I'm just playing softball now. I'm doing the thing that I love.
Now, of course, you go into your senior year in a couple of months of softball at Fitch. Now that that's done and that relief is off your shoulders, what's this senior year going to be like where you can just kind of let it go? Do you think it's going to be a little bit more relaxing this year to be able to just go out and play, not worrying about getting on radars and not worrying about, what coaches are watching, what coaches aren't watching? Do you think it's going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say more fun, like the last 3 years weren't fun, but do you think it's going to be a little bit more just stress-free for you as a senior?
It's definitely gonna be less stress because like now I'm not gonna have to go back in the game, get like my hits, my highlights, and like send them to like coaches because all that part's over now. Now I'm just playing softball with my best friends and hoping to go for another state championship. Like it's just nothing else I could ask for.
So the last thing I want to talk about, the other reason why I picked this hat is because we're going to have 3 Fitch players in this conference before it's all said and done. Already got to sit at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You just committed to Syracuse. And then in 2 years, Keliana Ray going to be in Louisville. What's it like to kind of know that you're going to have some teammates in the conference? You're going to see some former high school teammates, down the line when you play them in the ACC. Hopefully the schedules line up so you can play all of them. What's that kind of like to know that like there's going to be a group of people that and you've played with in this conference?
Like it's such like surreal feeling. Like I'm gonna walk out and see us all in different uniforms and like especially at the collegiate level, I feel like it's just gonna be like I was gonna take like a deep breath and be like, wow, like we all made it here. We all accomplished our dreams. Obviously, Sydney's already at Georgia Tech crushing it, but like I'll be there and it's like Kaylee, it's like 3 generations of us all starting off at the same little Valley Extreme team. We're all just like all branched our separate ways, and it's just crazy to see the growth that we've all had to go at the collegiate level, especially play in the ACC. It's just actually crazy.
The ACC might be looking at Fitch now. So if you're playing for Fitch, you got some ACC teams that are on the alert that Fitch is a breeding bed for ACC schools. Kylie, one more time, Syracuse Orange, we are so happy for you. Do you have any last thoughts, any things that you want to say to, the people that have helped you along the way? We always like to end player profiles that way. I figure we can end this way that way too. I want to give you some time to just kind of shout out the people that meant the most to you in this process and the people that kind of got you to where you're at.
This is gonna be like a big shout out to just like everybody. Thank you to all my friends, family, coaches, my parents, especially my mom. She took me everywhere that made this possible. Coach Sean, my travel coach, he's the one that got into contact with Coach Shannon, and Coach Ward sending emails out to her. Just thank you to literally everybody that's been a part of my life with my softball journey because I wouldn't have been able to commit here or be here where I am today without everybody here.
Got to catch up on all these comments that we're getting because you're a superstar. Let's see. We have the VOD handles commenting as well.
Oh my God.
Looks like we have a lot of comments. I'm just going to pop them up and you can read them if you want. But everyone's so excited for you, Kylie.
Thank you.
There's so many people watching.
It's my whole family.
Excited for this moment. Some emojis that's popping up. So once again, we're so happy for you. Kylie Folkwine going to Syracuse, the ACC, the 3rd Fitch player to commit to an ACC school. And man, we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see it. Basketball season coming up, of course, as you get ready for that. The volleyball season just wrapped up. You just keep trucking, and we'll see you again for a basketball player profile not too long, all right?
All right. Thank you.
You got it, Kylie. We'll see you soon, all right?
All right.
Kylie Folkwine from Austintown Fitch. You heard it here first, exclusively on YSN. She is going to Syracuse to continue her softball and academic career. We are so proud of Kylie and everything that she's been able to accomplish. Once again, how cool is it to see that now, in 2 years, I guess I should say, because Kiliana is a junior. In 2 years, we're going to have 3 former Austintown Fitch players in that ACC conference. Well, hopefully the schedules line up where they all play each other. I know it's a big conference and not every team plays each other every year, but it would be really cool if, like, in 2 years, Georgia Tech plays Syracuse and Louisville plays Syracuse, and we can get all 3 of them together at once in the season. We'll only have 1 year to do it because I believe by that time Sid will be a senior if my math is mathing up right in my head. So 1 year to do it, but I hope the schedule lines up where we can see that happen, because that would be really cool, really cool. So we want to thank Kylie for her time and being able to announce this exclusively on YSN. We knew she was itching to get it up, so we were able to kind of work with her and be like, hey, come on the show. We'll do it exclusively. We'll have some fun with it. We hope that you guys had some fun with it too. I got to do the hat bit that I've been looking forward to for a while, so that was fun. Got myself out of breath a little bit, but hey, I did not almost die, which is usually something that I do on the show. If you're a watcher of this show for a while, so we had some fun. Kylie, thank you so much for being able to come on and exclusively announce that here on YSN. We're so proud of you again. And if anyone's out there wanting to exclusively announce their commitment on YSN, by the way, we are up for it. We want to do it with you. Of course, we'll share your commitment. If you don't, we will be proud of you. But we always like to be the one that gets to break that news for you, give you that moment. So if you're out there and if you're a junior or a senior that is kind of on the verge of I knew it was coming, but it didn't come in the big moments. That's good. If you're a junior or senior out there, you're on the verge of committing and you want to make that announcement live on YSN, get in touch with us. We'd love to set that up with you, and we'd love to have some fun with you, just like we did with Kylie. So thanks for tuning in to that. That was fun. As we wrap up the show, we want to remind everybody that there are district championships tonight. Please get out there and support the volleyball teams that are fighting for district championships. There's also district semifinals in soccer, although I feel like tonight is a light night in soccer. We have a couple of girls teams in action tonight. I want to give soccer its due as well. And I think one boys team, I think most of the action is tomorrow though. No, actually most of the boys action is tomorrow. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls teams playing tonight. I was thinking the girls that are home that are local, but we do have 7 teams that are playing tonight overall. United will be on the road at Cornerstone Christian. We have Columbiana on the road at Bristol. These are all girls soccer games. We have Waterloo hosting. Waterloo is the 8th seed. They're hosting the 10 seed Canton Central Catholic. Kirtland is going to be hosting Badger. I'm trying to hold off that cough. It's coming. I know it. Open Door Christian will be at Warren JFK. Andrews Osborne will be at Springfield. And then Waynedale will be at Mooney. So those are the girls' soccer matchups. Tonight, there's one boys game, I believe. Yes, one boys semifinal. It is going to be Austintown Fitch at Hudson. So everything else has been already introduced. And once again, if you want your game sponsored, make sure to get a hold of us. Try to give us a 24-hour notice that you want your volleyball or soccer game sponsored for a tournament game. We would love to come broadcast it live if we can. We want to say that every day as we're in tournament time. The any game that is not football, that is tournament time, which whether we're talking volleyball, soccer, basketball, softball, baseball, does have to be sponsored so we can make up for the payment that we have to pay to the OHSAA. So if you want your tournament game broadcasted live, get a hold of us and we'll do our absolute best to get someone there and make sure that it is live for you if we get it sponsored. So that is the last reminder. We will go right into the Spark, the Joe Dickey Electric Spark, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. And there's a shocker right there, right? The Joe Dickey Electric Spark, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. Joe Dickey Electric is everything electrical. You can find out more at DickeyElectric.com. Here's the Spark. My Spark today, I want to give, there's got to be a better way to seed these teams. Like, basketball has the point system on Max Preps. not perfect, because I don't think their Max Preps algorithm is like perfect per se. I think there's some things that it misses, but it takes things out of coaches' hands. And obviously football, we have the computer system that ranks teams and puts them in seeding. And you have to do that when you're having not everyone making the playoffs, but every other sport, you still have coaches vote. And I think we're starting to see that with the bigger districts, it's flawed. It was fine when it was small districts in the past, when you were voting on all the teams you knew about in your local area, in your local district. That was fine. There was no kind of misseeding. There was no, I don't know anything about this team unless we go off their record, not even look. Coaches, I'm not knocking coaches either. Coaches shouldn't have to take time out of their hectic schedule that is getting ready for tournament time for their own team to research the teams that are 40, 50 minutes away to see who they played, what their strength of schedule is. All they have to do is look at their record and be like, okay, I think 17-5, let's put them as a 5 seed and just okay. But because of that, we see a lot of teams misseeded, and it kind of it throws off the tournament a little bit. You don't get necessarily the matchups you want to get when you want to get them. For example, like Berkshire was an example when I said like Berkshire being the 6th seed, I think is kind of silly. I think if you look at their schedule, the teams they played, the teams they beat this year, they're 22-2. And I think a lot of people just kind of said, well, Elyria Catholic, Crestview, all these teams have to be more than Berkshire, so we'll just put them as a 6. I think looking at the voting, and by the way, the voting is public knowledge, so I'm not like disclosing any like secret information. The public voting, you can go to the Northeast District database and see how every team voted. But the voting for Berkshire there was a lot of people that voted them like in the bottom, like 10 to 15. I was like, what are we doing? They're 22-2. And I think there's just like, we don't know them, so we can't really put a lot of emphasis on them. We know these teams more, so we're going to boost them up a little bit. And Berkshire got stuck in this like 6th spot. They're probably like one of the top 3 teams in Division 3, like top 4 maybe. If you take out, if you go Crestview, Elyria Catholic, and Lake Center Christian, which also got really underseeded, by the way. Not Lake Minter Catholic, sorry, which also got a lot of kind of underseeded, but they're the reigning state champions twice in a row, by the way. So those 3 and then Berkshire would probably be the top 4 in the division. You're starting to see some teams get put in some tough situations when they're not seeded correctly. And you also still have some instances where teams will use that voting strategically to their advantage to kind of avoid people. I mean, we look at the way Canfield was voted. There is a team who I won't throw shade on that Canfield played in last year's tournament that voted them really low, just so they could like, hey, let's throw off the seeding a little bit, see if we can see them a little bit later on in the tournament. Because when it's that low, that person does not think Canfield is that low on the totem pole, right? Like it's common, not like, okay, Canfield's got, at the time of voting, Canfield had 2 losses. You don't think Canfield is ranked 35th. Like, let's be real. That's not real voting. But you did it because you wanted to skew the voting a little bit, and maybe you can avoid Canfield a little bit, at least later on in the tournament, because of the way they played you in the tournament last year. Kind of shady. I would rather put it in a algorithm's hands than try to, 1, force the coaches to make those decisions, and then 2, lead to those strategic kind of underhanded voting tactics that I know some coaches, not every coach, I'm not throwing all the coaches under the bus, and it's a very few, but there are coaches out there that kind of do that kind of stuff, which is underhanded in my point of view. Once again, though, I'm not breaking any news. That vote is public knowledge, so I'm not throwing extra shade on people. If you want to see the voting, you can go and look at the voting. It's all right there at the Northeast District database, NEDAB, Google it. You can see how every team votes. So that's the other thing. When you're doing that, everybody knows exactly how you voted. So you are with no shame saying, I'm going to vote you really low, so it messes up your seating, so maybe I can avoid you. Yeah, it's whatever. You got to beat the teams no matter what. Is this when you play them? I know at the end of the day. But there are some things that I was like, oh, man, that team's underseeded. Or, oh, man, that team got a little bit of voting crazy. But that's my spark today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be better tomorrow, too. DJ will be back as well for a Thursday. as we take you into the weekend, week 10 of high school football. Very exciting week 10. And we'll see you all then. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Brought to you once again by Toyota of Warren and Greenwood Chevrolet. I'm Anthony Hartwig, and I'll use DJ's line since he's not here. Everyone out there, may the sports be with you.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.